listening to that highway song. Got a little naive smile, that kind of drives you wild. Nothing like playing with fire, brings forward a line. Be with the fuse you light, girl, you're dynamite. You made my day when you walked inside town beside me, whispered with your eyes, let's go. You made me say, what's your name, girl, you're lonely. Can I call you if I ever go down this road? And I can't seem to find the thing.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
You are listening to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with a sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Sports Network. Listen in as Brent and Dave invite you to belly up to the bar with them to talk about everything in the world of sports, just like you would do at your favorite watering hole. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans. So belly up to the bar with us, grab a beverage, and let's get into it.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 beer sports talking a whole lot more. This segment is brought to you by a Belly Up sponsor, Righteous Felon Jerky, the official supplier of beef jerky to Belly Up Media Network. Use promo code Belly Up at righteousfelon.com today for 15% off the craft jerky today at righteousfelon.com and get 15% off their very tasty beef jerky for your the summertime fun. Dave, I put a Twitter poll up there before earlier on this evening about what would be more nerve-wracking as a sports parent, as you're a parent of an athlete now, and so you have some nerve-wracking moments, I'm sure, when Jasper's out on the baseball field. Jasper probably gets a little more nerved up than you do because you're pretty chill individual when it comes down to it. But what would be more nerve-wracking for you, Dave? A player, if your son had the OT kicker, a place kicker to get the Super Bowl winning field goal, or if Jasper was in net in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals with a penalty shot, what would be a more nerve-wracking situation for you?
How far is the field goal?
48 yards.
Yeah, I'll take the field goal. Even though there's probably a higher success rate. Like, I don't know, penalty shots. I think the success rate is maybe 30 between 30 and 40%. I'd be surprised if it's even that high. For shooters, meaning that goalies save 70% of them. 48-yard field goal, yeah. If my son has an opportunity to take that field goal, a 48-yard field goal is something that he has made before, and then it's all on him. And I want him to do it, and I want him to succeed. So I want him to kick that field goal.
What's more nerve-wracking, though?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no nerves about it at all.
As a parent?
Yeah, none. Like, when I watch my kid play, I cheer for him and I want him to do that. And I find myself doing that. I inside, like, I am cheering for him to succeed, but it's not outwardly. I just want him to feel good about himself at the end of the day. And I say that, it sounds a little bit fucking weak, I guess. Yeah, wishy-washy, but no, because when I started,
very wishy-washy, but yeah.
And I started criticizing him, like, just saying, you should have done this, you should have done. He don't like that. My kid does not like that. I want him to succeed, and I want him to feel good about the game he played. And even when his team loses and he has good games, we talk about. When he has bad games, we talk about it. I honestly take pleasure in him taking pleasure in the game right now. And And kicking the field goal is better than saving a shot, right? Like
You're fucked in the head.
someone missed a shot. Playing goalie in the NHL is fucking easy. Being a being an
That's
any
clickbait.
being a football kicker, that's hard. That's pressure. That's like Mariano Rivera pressure.
I disagree 100%.
Oh no,
I disagree 100%.
It's so easy being goalie now. All you got to be is 6'5".
Now
It
is different.
Fucking garbage,
100%.
right?
I agree.
I would not say that. I would give you a different answer 15, 20 years ago, because there's so many goalies that I don't think are really that good. They just have better equipment.
Yeah, we've
they
talked
have
about that
better
a lot,
equipment and better positioning.
I don't know, man. You like if you miss a field goal in the Super Bowl, whatever it might be, your team still can get another chance to do it. If you give up a goal in overtime, Stanley Cup playoffs, you don't get another chance. Like that's it. This is it. It's one shot.
But no one ever talks about the goalie that gave it up. Everybody talks about the guy that scored the goal.
No, they talk about the goalie who gave it up. There's no doubt
about
that.
Goalies, right?
Because we talked tonight, Dave. We talked a lot about goaltending being bad throughout this entire playoffs. We talked about how goalies aren't very good right now. We talked about that a lot. I don't know who scored the fucking goal in the whatever game last night. The goalies weren't very good. Very good.
Yeah. And and same with the team that I want to beat Vegas. I still don't have any trust in their goalie. Like, even though he only gave up one last night, it's a bit of a gong show every time. Now, the team that I want to beat Vegas, like, their D's just sucks so bad.
Being a goalie is way harder than being an NFL kicker.
No,
you're out of your head.
Fuck that shit. You don't ever have to. You just go and just do your own thing.
What is with you NFL fuckers? I don't get it. You NFL huggers, I don't get it. Being a National Hockey League goaltender is way harder than being an NFL kicker. And it's not close. It's not close.
You're right on that. You are right. It is.
NFL kickers are a dime a dozen. They recycle those fuckers through. Here you go. Well, he missed a kick. Jerry Jones goes and finds some guy at fucking Walmart who played.
I'll tell you this, though. It's harder to make the NFL as a kicker than it is to make it's harder to make the Hall of Fame as a kicker than it is as a goalie.
Because there's so many of them.
Because there is so many of them, and it's hard to be
kicker. Hey, you know what? Kicker. You missed your cut. Get another one. You missed your cut. Get another one.
It's really hard to be elite at the kicker.
It's hard to be a good kicker. It's not hard to be a kicker.
No, you're right.
Just grab. You know who has to be the kicker? You know who has to be the kicker? The worst kid in the fucking high school football team.
No.
Oh, yes, it is.
No, do you know?
Yes, it is. 100%.
No. Do you know who the kicker is? The best kid on the soccer team.
The soccer team.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to come and kick for it? Like, well, I got to practice. I'm a soccer. No, it don't matter, man. Here's your fucking equipment. Just come out.
You NFL huggers try to twist things around. So we're great. It's the NFL. No, they aren't great athletes. They're not. They're not.
Well,
there's a few positions that are, but in general, they're not great athletes. They're not.
No, I think
they're not. No, they're not.
I think every player is. I think you have no idea how good of athletes every person is. And I'll say this, right? Because for every guy playing defenseman for the team that I want to play beat Vegas, there's 1,000 of them trying to play football in the NFL. There's like
population-wise.
Yeah. There's
that's a
right. There's so many.
No, I disagree. NFL, no, you're fucking 100% wrong. Not one of those fuckers could end up on skates. Not one of them.
Well, given the money, the exposure, and the time, for sure. That's a thing I've said. It's I don't know if I've
easier to become an NFL player than it is for any other sport. They're not that great.
Disagree 100% because you know what? I think the hardest sport in the world to become elite at is soccer. because the way I look at that is that the most people playing that sport is the hardest to be elite at. I don't think there's any sport on the planet where people play more than soccer. Like when I say the planet, I mean the planet.
I
From
agree.
Japan to Cameroon to Iceland.
One country plays football. One.
Right? One country
Maybe
plays
two.
football.
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right. But there's a
They're
ton of
not
shit,
that good.
and I will agree with that. But
I
then
got you
gotta
going a
say-
little bit, don't I?
But you got to say the same thing as to baseball and as to hockey. Dude, like hockey.
Baseball players, it's all over, man.
No, it's Latin America, it's Canada, and like it's the Americas. That's it, right?
Still more than football.
And a bit of Japan and Korea, right? It has
Still more than
it has-
football.
and you're right, and you are right. But
Athletes in football aren't that good. They're not.
but
There's a small percentage of people in the world who play football. They're not that good.
there's a smaller percentage of people that play hockey than football. There's less people on the planet that play
Hockey's harder
hockey
than
than football. I didn't say no. Hockey is harder than football. You're right, but the access to football and the amount of athletes that have the opportunity to play competitive hockey is a lot smaller than football.
Football's not that hard.
It's not easy.
I didn't say it was easy. I said it's not that hard.
I just said it wasn't easy.
I think I think you football huggers. I think football because it's a big game. I don't think it's that hard.
No,
I know I can't play it, but there's a lot. But there's a lot of guys who get like how many college football teams are there, and they get scholarships to play football. Hockey or football's not that
hundreds.
Football's not that hard.
There's more people in the States getting scholarships to play football than hockey than any other sport.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Football is the most overrated thing on the planet.
Okay, here. Well, we
I mean, you'll never change my mind.
Here. You know how you know firsthand. You're within 1 degree of separation of the entire NHL, right? Because you know people, right? How many people do you know that have played Division I football? 1 degree of separation.
Well, I don't know because I'm not in that.
Well, 0, right? So it can't be that.
I'm sure if I went and shook someone's hand, I would fucking be one.
Well, we'd figure it out, right? Because I'm the same way. Because I've met a couple NHLers as well.
If football was as hard as you football huggers think it is, why is the careers only 3 years in? Because someone gets
because
recycled
that's why. No, and also
they recycle guys through. They recycle guys through. It's not that hard to play
because of the salary cap. Right, like that's the bigger thing, right? The salary.
That's
cap.
not true.
Oh, for sure it is. Right? Why would you spend 500? Like, why would we give this guy a raise when there's someone who's just a little bit about the same?
Because anyone can, because all those guys can play it. It doesn't matter. It's not that hard to play.
Well, then if it was that easy to
I can't.
players,
like for all our listeners, I can't. I get it. I can't play football. But football is the most overrated sport that there is on the planet. These guys aren't that good. They're not. You have a quarterback who's good and a bunch of other dudes who do whatever. That's it. That's it.
I 100% disagree with this, and I think it needs a little bit longer explanation, because just by you saying that, why isn't every team 8-8 every year? Because
they are
but every team isn't 8-8.
We talked about that in one of the first times we were together on this show back in 2020 in September, where we said every team starts off 8-8 and they work, then now it's 8-9 or 9-8. Every team just works this way. Football is not that great of a sport. The NFL isn't that good. It's not entertaining.
Let's put a pin in this and talk about it at a different episode, because this isn't the way to end up. There's no chance that I'm wrong. There's no chance that I'm wrong. How can a game that captivates everybody, that owns the media
because you're
market,
supposed to watch it? That's why. The
I was
marketing
watching.
machine.
I was
marketing
watching,
machine is way bigger than the fucking game it is.
but I was watching it before. I was watching it when I had to watch the fucking Seattle Seahawks, for fuck's sake. And I had one option. I had the morning, and that's what it is. You have the early game, you have the late game, and then Monday Night
you
Football.
just say you
that
have
was
to
it.
watch it.
Well, like I had to watch it because I loved watching football. So I had to watch the Seahawks, whoever the fuck they played, and then hopefully in the late game, or the other game, because there was 2 games on Sunday and there was 1 game on Monday night, and that's how you watch football, and that's how I watched it when I was a kid. So I became a fan of football with limited access, and that's why I become a hater of the Seahawks, because I had to watch the Seahawks because that was the only game that was on TV, and I watched that fucking game because I had to watch Seahawks. So that's it. So don't tell me I had to watch shit. I wanted to watch football, and they forced me to watch the Seahawks.
I strongly disagree with that take. I think it's the most overrated thing. I think it's the most overhyped machine that there is. And you watch enough and the algorithms, everything else, and the TV, the commercials. Like football is the most overrated thing on the planet.
Fuck.
I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy watching some games. Most games are over by the third quarter. You're like, okay, well, this is on.
But even at this state of my life, I have access. I have access to every game I want at any time, live or during the week. And I don't watch any game. I don't get geeked. I don't go crazy about the draft. So for you to say this to me, that I am crazy about the NFL just because it's my favorite sport.
I'm not, Dave. I was not saying that you. I was saying the people in general is what I was getting at. Is that the people in general? The people in general watch football because they're supposed to, and all these football huggers and he's the greatest. He's this. Fuck off. That guy does one thing. Like they're not that great.
I think they are great.
If all these guys, they're not that. I didn't say they weren't great. I said they're not that great. Because if they were great, they would be there forever. 3 years. These fuckers last 3 years, and every one of them is more disposable than any other athlete.
Without a doubt. Right, because
they're not that great. There's quarterbacks who are great, and after that, insert player here.
I think you're besmirching a lot of skilled.
I'm completely besmirching them
because it's
because if they were great, they'd still be in the league fucking after year 4.
Yeah, but we're now talking. No, you're not wrong, but like how many ham and eggers are in the NHL, right? Like there's ham and eggers
but they're ham and eggers who last a long time.
Yeah, but no, not necessarily. Like I don't know what the average NHL career is, but I imagine it's a lot shorter now than it used to be 10 years ago.
No,
because what's the sense?
10 years, right?
Yeah, because why sign a guy for $1.5 million when you could have a guy on a rookie contract for $750? And that's what it is now. It's all about salary management, and I think that's the thing about the salary cap across all sports. That's not doing a service to the actual sport, right? I don't know the answer for this, but like across every sport, I think salary cap management shouldn't be an issue as to who you keep on your staff. Whether it be NHL, whether it be NFL, whether it be NBA, or whether it be MLB, right? Like just because owners want to make more money because the GM has to save money against the salary cap, he can't sign players that he would rather keep on his team, but he has to let them go because it's cheaper to sign these fucking punks off the that they just drafted.
There's ways around that. And then
well, and then that's what I'm saying. It's a multifaceted question, right? Like there's no easy answers to anything, and
there's no easy answer to anything in this life we live, Dave. But I'm just saying that NFL huggers are NFL huggers, and they're fucking wrong. They're wrong, and they won't listen. They won't listen.
I say this, and I'll say it all the time. NFL is.
If every team is so fucking good, here it is. Why are they so excited about the draft?
See, and this is what I'm saying, and I don't know if I'm an NFL hugger. That's the sport I prefer watching the most. Number one, NFL. Number two, NHL playoffs. Number three, I'll watch a baseball game. Number four, I could give a fuck about
No,
the NBA.
I'm not saying to watch other sports. I'm not. What I'm getting at, Dave, is that the NFL is so overrated and overhyped because of shows like this and people talking about it. It's the most overrated thing going. It is. It's 100% overrated. Because if your team is so great, why are you so geeked about the fucking draft? Why are you so geeked about this, that, and the other? It's the most overrated thing in professional sports. And it's not close. It's not close.
I'm
not saying you got to watch baseball. I'm not saying you got to watch hockey. What I'm saying is that these people who say the NFL is this athlete, no, he's not. He's not that good. He's not. They have quarterbacks, and that's it. Insert player here, and that's it.
So am I that guy? Right? Because I don't get geeked about the draft. I don't break down this and that. I do watch my team. I do pay attention, but I don't care. I don't care. Get out of the way.
Hello, dog.
I don't.
Be a good YouTube short form right there.
I don't care, right? I don't tell people that don't love the NFL as much as me that they're wrong, right? And I do agree with you that it is overhyped, but I don't buy into the hype myself, being a super NFL fan. But I guess that makes me not a super NFL fan. I'm a Denver Bronco fan.
No, but I appreciate you saying that, because you're actually more of a fan of a team and watching the sport. Those people who talk about all the other shit, they're actually proving me right by saying this. Well, no.
Right. And like friends of our podcast,
if you watch the game and get upset about your team winning or losing, that's what matters. The rest of it's all bullshit. It's all complete bullshit.
Yeah, and we had fun with it last year because my Broncos suck so bad.
Yeah.
Right? Like what are we gonna do about that? Like I don't fucking know, right? Like I'm just here to watch the games. I'm not here to tell people. I'm not here to break down the draft. And Jim and the two dudes, like they did their draft show, and they go like, "What do you think of how Denver did?" And like, I don't have a fucking clue. Do you know why? Do you know why I don't have a fucking clue? Because I don't have a fucking clue. Right? That's it. I don't have a fucking clue. So who am I? Like, I'm just here to enjoy the product, and I'll do it this way. And I do hear you. How I don't understand how NFL has taken over the psyche of sports fan everywhere.
They're mental.
It is mental. It's mental. Because no other sport does it, right? They try to do it, and
like you're watching First Take. There's NHL playoffs, NBA is huge in the States, not so much here in Canada because the Raptors, when they won once, but like you watch First Take, they're talking about the fucking 4th round pick, the Atlanta Falcons. Who gives a flying fuck?
And content is king, right? And I guess if you want to be a super geek about your team, then you're a super geek about your team. But I don't know. I can't break down
these guys. These people who think the NFL athletes are the fucking greatest on earth. They're fucking wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong.
Here,
they're great they're great athletes, but they are 100% wrong that they're the great athletes in the world. They're 100% wrong. They take the biggest hits. They're 100% wrong. That it's the most physical game out there. 100% wrong. There's actually stats that say when an NHLer skates down the ice and hits another guy, it's 10 times faster than when a fucking NFLer does it.
Yeah,
hockey's the most physical game that there is, and these football people who say it's not, they're wrong. They're 100% wrong. Football is the most overrated sport in North America.
I agree with that. I agree with exactly what you're saying, but then like you got to curtail that with the fact that there's 10 times as many people playing football as there is hockey.
Just because there's more people. That means nothing.
Well, no. It means access to ice, access to skates, access to ice time, access to coaching, right? Like I would say 90% of the NFL players have never once put on a pair of skates in their life. I would say 90% of it. But I would say
that's what I'm saying is
90%.
I'm saying that these NFL huggers don't understand that these guys are not the top athletes in the world. That's all I'm getting at. They're not. They're 100% not. That's all I'm saying.
I would say I would. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
They're not.
They're not. Well, and I'll also say this: like the NFL player, there's such a wide range of physical body types, right? Like your offensive, defensive lineman can't play hockey, right? Like this is a very specific body type and strength and motion that these guys can do of men of that size.
So like, being fat and big is a skill.
And no, not I won't say fat and big. What I will say
it is like what
no,
they do.
No,
I'm not downplaying
no, but
what
like
they do.
Well, no, you say fat and big. I will say
they are.
I'll say huge and strong. And
they are like I get like but what I'm getting at, Dave, is that the NFL huggers need to fucking take a step back because that game is not that great. It's not. You love it, I get it. But to a person who doesn't watch it, it's hard to grab onto.
It's a great sport. It's fun to watch. I think that
most games are over by the third quarter.
Yeah, I get that, but
it's shitty to me. It's shitty.
Coming from a baseball guy though,
baseball's horrible to watch. I don't promote baseball.
And this is a thing,
I wouldn't fucking tell anybody to watch baseball.
This is what I'm going to say. American sports, and when I say America, I mean USA sports. They're not into the flow of a game the way sports are. Like hockey has flow. Soccer has flow. American sports, which is football, which is basketball, which is baseball, it's situational sports. Fourth and goal, bottom of the ninth, down 2 with 30 seconds left. Like
fourth and goal, blow a whistle, 3 penalties, blah. Like
it's actually like all America. And this isn't for bad or worse. This is just it's all about situation. Terrible. Like let's bring it down to this. Let's bring it down to this specific highlight. And these sports are 100 years old, so it's not like the originators of the sports knew that this was coming into the clip nation that we are now. But that's what it is. Bottom of the ninth, 2 out, runner on second, whatever. Like that's what it is.
Thrown for a fucking offside to slow it down even more.
Right, it's
horrible.
It's baseball, it's basketball, and it's football. It's situational sports. It's broken into clips. There's no flow to the most popular sports in America, and then that's just what it is, right? And no one can. I don't think anyone with half a brain can actually deny that, because that's just what is. And football has grabbed this and made it into a highlight reel sport. It's the only sport, the American sport, that really does have physical contact. And I admit it myself, like back in the day, I loved seeing guys getting fucking lit up in the middle. But now I feel a little bit bad about that. And they've made the rule changes to not have guys end up in wheelchairs. What am I supposed to say? Like, I love the sport. I think it is the most interesting sport to watch day in, day out. That and NHL playoff hockey. NHL regular season, you might get a good game here and there. But I'll watch NFL every day, all day, because of the constant action. And
constant action. Holy fuck, you lost me there, man. There's no
and
constant action.
and baseball, I'll watch because I love the sport. I love the intricacies of the sport. I love to see slick fielding. I like to see good pitching. I
There's
like to
no
see
constant
fundamentals.
action in National Football League. There's not. It's the dullest thing. Like, I'm a baseball guy, so I'll watch that, and I'm not trying to convince anybody to not watch football, and not like, and I get why people. I'm the first to admit that I get why people don't watch baseball. I get it 100%. But football, third quarter, they put in a fucking backup. Does hockey in the third period? No, they
You
don't.
could though.
But they don't.
So why don't they?
Because
Why, like
hockey's hard and football's not.
No, because if you're up 5-0, why don't you put the backup goalie in for the third period?
Because hockey's hard.
No, it's not.
Because they might score a lot on that guy.
That's like
They might.
that's a lie.
In football, they put that guy because no one's scoring.
And in baseball, they'll pull a guy like if he's up 13-0, in the 7th inning and he has a no hitter, he gives up a hit in the 8th. Well, they might, depending on his pitch count, they're gonna pull him. Okay, you lost a no hitter. Like
Take him out because the game's over. Yeah.
Yeah, but why don't they do that with a goalie in the NHL?
Because they might score 5 on that guy.
Oh, but they can't score 12 on this guy coming up. Like, I don't get it. Like,
I'm besmirching football here. In the third quarter, there's a lot of quarterbacks who go in when the lead's insurmountable. It's horrible. It's not that good. It's not.
Well, you know what? I made my argument, and I'm going to say this to you. Then stop watching.
Done.
You just lost yourself a customer.
I won't. If somebody gave me $5 million or that $55 million to never watch an NFL game again, I'd take it.
How about if I give you $10?
Done. Never watch again.
Okay, I'll give you a $10 bill tomorrow.
Done.
Well, next time I see you, I'm gonna carry around a $10 bill.
I could give a fiddler's fuck about that sport because it's not that good.
No.
It's not nearly as good as everybody says it is. It's a hype machine that like I said, there are quarterbacks and that's it. That's it.
I disagree. The defensive plays, I just simply disagree. There's so much more to the game. It's the most coached game in all the professional sports. The things that go on,
watching coaches make decisions.
Well, it's execution of coaches' plays. Yeah, I get it. I understand you don't get it, and I'm not going to convince you right here.
It's not that I don't get it. I think you know what? I think I'm the only person in North America who actually gets it. I think I am. I think I actually get it.
Okay. I'll let Roger Goodell know.
Well, I don't think I'm wrong. You're not going to change my mind. Like it's
no, and I get it, and we've established it. Like I don't.
If it's that, if these guys are this fucking good, why is your lifespan 3 years? You'll never, and you can't answer that.
No, I thought I did because of salary cap reasons.
That's
because
they'll find a way. There's always
injuries.
A way.
Okay.
Always a way. Always a way.
Then why is there someone who has a 20-year career?
2 guys.
There's 15 careers. And you know what? And you say that, but that's the way the NHL is going too, man. There's like 30-year-olds. There's a lot less 30-year-olds in the NHL than there was 10 years ago. And there's going to be a shit ton less 5 years from now.
More people turn off the NFC AFC championship in the fucking third quarter than turn off last night's Oilers fucking Vegas Golden Knights game.
100 times more people started watching that game.
Percentage. I'm saying percentage, Dave.
So
more people turn off AFC, NFC games because it's a fucking blowout and no one gives a fuck than turned off that game last night. Percentage-wise.
No, I think you're wrong.
Oh, because the halftime show's a little bit better?
Oh no!
off.
Who gets like? I've never watched a half show. Like I'm not there.
The
for
NFL's not that
halftime
good. College football's great. NFL's not that good.
show.
It's not.
What college football by definition is a lesser product, right?
But those, it's a there's more
Because they're
emotion.
trying hard. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Well,
If it's, I don't
maybe
know.
you need more emotion. Maybe you got to find a team. Why don't you like? So what is it? USC.
Yeah, the San Diego. Who gives
and
a
the
fuck? I'll go watch. I'll go
and
watch
then
the Chargers. I'll go down to San Diego watch the fucking Chargers.
No.
I know they're not around anymore. I'm very aware of that, Dave. I
Well,
could
okay. Well, then maybe you got to get on a bandwagon because you're a bandwagon guy,
I'm
right?
not.
Like get on the Chiefs bandwagon. What do you mean you're not a bandwagon guy? You became a Trojan fan with Liner. You're now you became a Yankee fan with Jeets, and then so now it's a perfect time to get on
30
that.
fucking years, man. Like whatever.
It's the perfect time to get on that Chiefs bandwagon.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I will. If you give me $10 tomorrow, I'll never watch an NFL game again, and they'll all winter long. I'm gonna watch that shit to talk on the 1420 podcast.
Why don't you grab old Jim a cigar and you can get on that fucking Pittsburgh bandwagon? And I don't think those fuckers are gonna win for a while because of Matt Canada.
Yeah, who cares?
Okay.
I don't care. I don't care.
I know you don't care, and there's nothing I can say that's going to convince you. And then because every argument I make to say that you might be wrong,
They're not that good. It's not that entertaining.
You know, and you and I have different tastes. And
I watch people. I'm a people watcher when I go out to establishments, and no one watches after the fourth quarter or after the third quarter. They don't. They're rah, go team.
You know, but how much
And
people
then
watching
they're
what's
just
going on last night? Like, you know, and that's the thing about
Lots.
that's the thing about this year's playoffs for the Stanley Cup.
You're
It's
watching,
a bit
aren't
of
you?
it's a bit of a drag. More games are blowouts than not.
But you were watching last night.
Yeah, I did watch last night.
There you go.
Well, because I had to do research for the show.
Yeah, bullshit. Anyways, the
Trying to
1420,
contribute. And
the
all I get is
1420
fucking
Sports
shit
Bar
and abuse.
podcast. Four Beers Sports, talking a whole lot more. Take care of each other. More importantly, take care of yourself because we need you around. Keep your stick on the ice. And what else, Dave? What else, Dave?
I don't want to see Jim swing at high pitches and cheer for the home team.
There we go. Have a good night, folks. We'll talk to you on Monday night.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
You just listened to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. Four Beer with Sports, talking a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Let's get